Hi YouTube, this is Boston Girl 5560, and yes, this is a 2 video night. Anyways, I have to go into Comcast sucks. Yes, it does. They were claiming about all this customer service. Well, when I left them, which was about the 10th of August, like I called them that Monday to cancel service. I sat on the phone forever just to cancel service, and then they said I have 7 days to return the equipment. Fine, it was all in my trunk. And then they said they didn't have any place convenient to drop this equipment off. You know, I know there's Comcast offices, but they're like, oh, it doesn't take equipment. And then the person on the phone was like, yeah, even if you find the place with the equipment, you could be waiting for half an hour. I'm like, oh, who the hell wants to do that? So then they're like, well, we'll pick it up. Okay. Well, they're supposedly coming to my job, and I didn't have the zip code right when I was, you know, telling them the address. Well, instead of asking me or whatever, they went to my home address zip code, which is on a complete other side of town. So I'm glad I got the number and called them to check. Well, you know, he was supposed to be there from 8 to 11, and I had my cell phone with me because, you know, I'm walking through the office or whatever, and it's like the big cell phone like I got in my pocket, just standing out waiting for this guy to call so I can meet him in the parking lot, you know, because I didn't want to miss it. Hence they're coming to pick it up. Well, you know, I have to call them to find out that he's running late and all this and that. Well, he didn't show up till an hour later, so he didn't get there till 12 o'clock. So I held my damn cell phone all that time for no reason. So then the guy checks everything, he takes it, I get my receipt, I think it's all good. You know, he's going to report the situation, and, you know, because they told me as soon as I pass in my equipment, which I had 7 days, that I would get a credit. Okay. So today, Comcast or their recovery department calls me talking about it's missing a memory card or something. I'm like, wait a minute. Dude should have checked all this crap before he gave me a receipt. Why are you calling me talking about a memory card? And then does he give you copies of the damn receipt? Because she's like, oh, what's the receipt number? What's the serial numbers? And this and that and the other. And I feel that's a lot of extra I had to do for not even being my crap. I mean, the dude gave me a receipt. The thing is, doesn't he give you the receipt? Or, I mean, the recovery department the receipt? Why am I going to do all the legwork? Then she's like, oh, well, you should call up and, you know, let them know that, you know, you gave back your equipment. I'm thinking, why do I need to call Comcast back to let them know I gave back my equipment when Comcast came to pick it up? So you guys don't follow your stuff? You know, I'm like, okay. So I call them, and they're like, oh, okay, what's the receipt number? Here we go again. You know, because they had no knowledge that I gave back their equipment, because clearly nobody called. So the fact that a memory card's missing, I'm just thinking it's sketchy Comcast or sketchy whoever picked it up, because it's the same equipment. Oh yeah, did I mention I had been a Comcast customer since 2005, and he got exactly what was in my house from 2005. But anyways, so I call, I give her the receipt number. Now she wants to take it off my account and all this and that. So then I get a credit. And I said, well, when will I get my credit? Oh, well, it'll take 7 days for this to process. Then another 3 to 5 days for you to receive your credit. Now, I think that is freaking asinine. That it's going to take you all this time to process a credit and send me my money back. When you wanted payment, you didn't say I had all this time to pay you, but you have all this time to sit on my money. She's like, oh, well, sorry. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, chick. So then I get home and I get a bill for $354 from Comcast for equipment that they said I had 7 days to pass in. Now, granted, I know I don't owe this bill, but it still pisses me off that you're sending me bills when you said I had 7 days to pass it in, because, you know, my Comcast bill was current. It's like, you know, and every time you're on that customer, you know, their little phone line, they're like, oh, do you want to leave an evaluation or answer our little questions about our customer service? First of all, There's been many times I've called Comcast and I've been on hold forever. One person says something totally different than the other person. One person knows how to fix something, one person doesn't. Or, you know, I've had to elevate to a supervisor and threaten to call corporate for them to get something done. To the point that one of the supervisors like, oh, I'll work with you personally so you don't have to call into the customer service line because they just weren't getting it done. Now, I'm not saying I don't know who picks up the Comcast phone or each phone or isolated incidences or whatever. And this is over a period of 7 years. So I can't say who this person was, who it wasn't. So excuse me, Comcast employees. I'm not being disgruntled against you. Maybe you're not trained or whatever the case may be, or I don't know. All I know is I haven't had good luck with my Comcast situation or service. And you know, my roommate situation has Comcast right now, and I think I'm gonna try to convince them to change to something else, because I'm just so unpleased. You know, I've been a good paying customer since 2005, and the service has definitely been lacking for a long time. Let's not to mention that the wires in my yard of my old house where the Comcast lines were all jumbled and looked like crap in the little, you know, and I know the kids were messing with it, and I told them one time and they never came out to look at it because they don't care. That's the point. They don't care. And I noticed that the guy who picked up my stuff was a contractor. You know, he didn't even have a Comcast van or whatever. So either way, I am not happy with my Comcast situation. I'm glad I am no longer a Comcast customer, and I hope it doesn't take months to get my credit back. Because, you know, if it does, I really wish I could collect interest. Bye, YouTube.